10 unbelievable architectural disasters. Number 10. Sochi Olympics. When the Winter Olympics came to Sochi in 2014, Putin was hoping it would be the perfect showcase for Russia's greatness. Although Russia came a respectable fourth in the medal table, it was their preparations for the event that made headlines, particularly their shoddy, rushed accommodation. In the days leading up to the event, athletes and journalists shared the interesting rooms they'd been left with. This included brown water, random piles of rubble, and many shared toilet rooms. Still, at least the shared toilets weren't embedded into the wall or put on upside down. Even the lobby of one hotel reportedly hadn't had a floor put in. The ridiculous hotels became international news, distracting from the sports themselves and making the Olympics look farcical. But it was at least a lighter distraction than some of the other scandals Russia caused during the Games. Number 9. Coronado Naval Amphibious Base. Buildings take all shapes and sizes, and we do mean all shapes. Here is the Coronado Naval Amphibious Base in San Diego, California, home to over 5,000 Navy personnel and 7,000 military students. It seems like any other major naval base. That is, until you see it from above. No, your eyes aren't tricking you. That's an American naval base in the shape of a swastika. The unfortunate shape was first discovered in 2007 after Google Maps photographed the building from above. While most accept the Navy's claim that the base's shape is an accident, the fact the facility was constructed in the late 1960s has led conspiracy theorists to claim that secret Nazis had fled Germany after World War II and infiltrated the top ranks of the US military. They claim the building's shape was a tribute to their fallen ideology. After the base's look was revealed, the Navy claimed it was planning to spend $600,000 to change the shape. However, Google Earth photography from 2017 shows that no major work to the building has taken place. Number 8. The Astrodome. At number 8 we have the 8th wonder of the world. That's what the people of Houston dubbed the world's first multi-purpose domed stadium when it opened in 1965. Over its 41-year active history, the $272 million Astrodome hosted major events like Ali boxing Williams and the Battle of the Sexes tennis match. But in its main role as the Astros baseball stadium, the dome was flawed from day one. Firstly, the glass in the dome caused the sun to glare in, dazzling players every time they looked up to catch a ball. The stadium owners tried to fix this by painting the roof white. This solved that problem, but let in so little sunlight that the pitch's grass died. After playing the 1965 season on green painted dirt, the Astros eventually installed an experimental artificial surface called ChemGrass. This new surface caused burns to anyone sliding on it, yet was broadly a success and became known as AstroTurf. Number 7. Lotus Riverside. If you're building a skyscraper on a riverbank, don't throw all the dirt you clear into the river. That's what one Shanghai construction crew did while building the Lotus Riverside apartment block in 2009. While clearing space for the 13-story tower, the Shanghai Yongxing Construction Company dumped the spare turf in a nearby river creek. Perhaps unsurprisingly, that much earth being suddenly plonked into the middle of a river unintentionally created a makeshift dam and blocked the water from passing. With nowhere else to go, the water trickled into a parking garage under the apartments and washed away the foundations. The Lotus building tipped and fell over, thankfully not into the occupied neighbouring towers. This building blunder angered the 456 people who had already paid for the flats, and eventually 6 high-ranking members of the construction team and housing project were jailed. The $62,000 spent building the block were wasted, and Shanghai Yongxing had to dole out $115,000 in compensation. Number 6. Walsall House. In 2016, Acorns estate agents started listing this house in Walsall, a town in the UK's West Midlands. With a patio, large garden and conservatory, the only off-putting thing about this house would seem to be the $500,000 price tag. That is, until we get to the driveway. Yep, there's a pole smack back in the middle of where you'd want to move your car. But the oddest thing about this house? It was made after the post, presumably by a builder who hates cars. Maybe he built this floating garage too. Driveway defeating posts and inaccessible garages aren't the only strange architectural failures that homeowners have had to endure either. Blocked off doors, unusable staircases, and deadly balconies are apparently par for the course. Number 5. The John Hancock Tower. Still the tallest building in Boston, the John Hancock Tower once had an unfortunate habit of raining huge plates of glass down on the people of New England. Built in 1976, the 60-story, 240-metre skyscraper was originally supposed to cost $75 million. But as construction came to an end, they realised that the windows weren't built to resist strong winds. And by "they realised," we mean windows started falling out and smashing to the ground. Thankfully, somehow, no one was hurt by the 200-kilogram sheets of see-through death hurtling to the pavement at 45 miles per hour. However, the cost of redesigning and replacing every one of the 10,334 windows added $100 million onto construction costs. Plus, the building spent months with plywood boards hastily plugged over its gaps. The Plywood Palace was eventually fixed and continues to tower over the Boston skyline to this day. Number 4. Wheelchair ramps. You may not have heard of Tatarstan, a small republic hidden away in the far west of Russia. However, one blogger from the capital city of Kazan has made the area infamous for its dreadful disabled access. Irat Kali-Mullen, a former soldier handicapped during military service, uploaded a series of photos, including this one of a parking space and this one of a wheelchair ramp. But Tatarstan isn't the only place failing to provide adequate, or even not insultingly bad, disabled access. This maze of a ramp in Dunbartonshire, Scotland, cost an estimated $40,000 and forces users to go through over 10 levels. And at least that ridiculous lump of twisted metal is safe. Far too many places don't so much have ramps to allow wheelchairs in, as chutes to send them flying out. Not to mention buildings that wheelchairs can't even get onto in the first place. Number 3. Brooklyn Bridge Playground. In 2010, the City of New York opened a brand new 300 square metre playground. The Brooklyn Bridge Playground was complete with swings, slides, and 3 raised metal domes to serve as a seating area. Or at least it did, until reports started trickling in about children receiving horrific burns from sitting on the domes. You see, the city government forgot to factor in that metal domes sitting in direct sunlight all through New York's sweltering summer were likely to get kinda hot. Numerous children were scalded by the sizzling domes. The city ignored these claims for 2 months, but eventually agreed to cover the seating area after news emerged that a toddler had burnt himself. One resident even claimed, "It's so hot you could fry an egg on it." The park covered the domes before deciding to have them removed in June 2010. That's 3 months after they were installed. Number 2. Winchester Mystery House. This next building is so ridiculously built, it's actually become a tourist attraction. The Winchester Mystery House, which was begun in 1884, is full of needless stairways, hidden areas, and doors that lead nowhere. Why? Well, supposedly the mansion's owner, Sarah Winchester, was so haunted by the fact that her fortune had come at the cost of countless gun deaths from her weapons. She went to visit a medium in 1881. The medium ordered Sarah to be constantly building a house dedicated to the victims, and so Winchester ordered the construction of a manor that would never be finished. That meant the building of lots of hidden and entirely pointless stairways and doors, all while Sarah lived there. The house was worked on nearly continuously for 38 years, until Sarah's death in 1922. Now it exists as a curiosity and supposedly haunted house for tourists to walk around. Number 1. Vdara Hotel. When it comes to glitzy hotels, Las Vegas has plenty of competition. There's Caesar's Palace for those who want a Roman theme, Excalibur for those who want to feel like King Arthur, and then the Vdara for those who want to be zapped by a death ray. Yep, this shiny Vegas hotel made headlines in 2010 when it was revealed the building's gleaming surface was inadvertently reflecting the sun's light and heat in a concentrated beam, and this beam was aimed directly down into their own pool. This Vdara death ray, as the locals have dubbed it, isn't hot enough to be deadly, but has left guests with severe burns and has even melted plastic bags. After receiving numerous complaints, Vdara responded by chucking a few more pool umbrellas and foliage under the beam to provide shade. And ridiculous as this might sound, this hotel isn't the only building that turns into a giant magnifying glass in the sun. Shortly after it opened in 2013, 20 Fenchurch Street in London, or the walkie-talkie, was blamed for melting cars parked nearby. So that was 10 unbelievable architectural disasters. Did we miss any building blunders off the list? Which architectural atrocity was your favourite? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more incredible screw-ups, check out 10 ridiculous ways government wasted your money, playing on screen now.
Ten tragic stories behind famous memes. Number 10. Damn Daniel. Damn Daniel was a 2016 Vine posted by Josh Holds, in which he praised the outfit of his friend Daniel Lana with the now ubiquitous catchphrase. The instant success of the Vine brought Josh and Daniel countless benefits, including a lifetime supply of Vans trainers. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. For many, it was hard to see why the video gained such popularity. But some of its detractors took their distaste way too far, surprising literally no one on the internet. Within a month of Daniel's internet fame, an anonymous troll found his address and made a prank police phone call. The hilarious prank consisted of the caller using a voice modulation device and claiming that someone at the address had shot their mother with an AK-47. This resulted in a fully armed SWAT team arriving and searching Lana's house. Luckily, the family cooperated and no one was harmed, but it seems as though the caller had hoped for much worse. Number 9. Star Wars Kid. What many credit as the first ever meme was also the first to show the considerable power of cyberbullying. This footage of 15-year-old Ghislaine Raza using a golf ball remover as a lightsaber substitute was never meant to be seen, but classmates stole the footage and shared it in 2003. From this, a constant stream of bullying online and in the classroom sent Raza into a deep depression. Numerous comments encouraged Raza to kill himself, which may be as common as calling someone stupid in today's online climate, but in 2003, this significantly affected Ghislaine. He dropped out of school and was admitted to a children's psychiatric ward. Raza's family sued the students responsible for the leaked footage, but the out-of-court settlement didn't even cover their legal costs. Despite this experience, though, he wasn't deterred from the legal system, eventually graduating from McGill University's law school and using his platform to raise awareness and combat cyberbullying. Number 8. Plastic surgery ad. In 2012, Taiwanese model Heidi Ye was on her way to a successful modelling career. Taking what was a relatively small job for her, she appeared in a fake family photo shoot for a cosmetic surgery clinic, despite never having gone under the knife herself. Without informing Ye, the clinic photoshopped her fake children to look considerably worse than her, and added the caption, "The only thing you'll ever have to worry about is how to explain it to the kids." From here, the photo found its way online and was immortalised as a meme with a new caption, "Plastic surgery, you can't hide it forever." Things only got worse when a Chinese newspaper attached the photo to a fake story about a man who sued his wife for lying about plastic surgery and giving him ugly children. She estimates she lost over $120,000 in potential earnings and began a lawsuit in 2015 against the clinic. Number 7. Grumpy Cat. The conceit of the Grumpy Cat meme is simple. A picture of this annoyed-looking feline with a caption explaining her distaste for certain things. You wouldn't think that something that basic would make for a good book or film, and you'd be right. But Grumpy Cat has both, and has become synonymous with your mum's perception of meme culture. The original Grumpy Cat, tartar sauce to her owner, actually suffers from feline dwarfism and a severe underbite which causes her trademark look. Dwarfism is a genetic mutation that can significantly limit a cat's physicality, as well as causing neurological and pulmonary issues. Grumpy Cat's owner has earned millions of dollars from her pet, but many are worried this advertises dwarf cats as a lucrative business. Advocacy for Animals suggested that placing cats with deformities on a pedestal encourages the unethical breeding of them for cosmetic purposes and financial gain. So while grumpy cats are cute, you'd probably have the same face too if your life expectancy was compromised because of a meme. Number 6. Scumbag Steve. As will become apparent throughout this list, and then again in the comments section, people on the internet love to be mean. So in 2011, when Blake Boston became the face of that freeloading thieving friend we all hate, the World Wide Web pulled no punches. After his mum posted this photo to MySpace, it shot into the public consciousness as Scumbag Steve. Now naturally, Blake wasn't thrilled with the trend, but things got significantly worse when cyberbullies tracked down his Facebook account and began calling his phone at night. On top of the death threats that are all too common on the internet these days, the trolls found an ultrasound image of Blake's unborn child. This was reposted with a caption, "Hoping for the child's death." Despite initial fears and anger, the aspiring rapper can now laugh at the meme. In fact, in 2011, he penned an open letter to the anonymous annoying Facebook girl on dealing with meme fame, reminding her that it gets better. Pretty nice for a scumbag. Number 5. I Smell Like Beef. Ava Ryan rose to internet fame in 2014 as the subject of one of her mother's vines, in which she adorably repeats the line, "I smell like beef."
I smell like beef.
Today, Ava's funny outbursts and skits have made her an internet star, with over 1 million likes on her Facebook page. You couldn't tell from the light-hearted content, but the videos actually originate from the death of Ava's auntie, when she was just 18 months old. In an interview, her mother Katie explained that after her sister died, she was unable to leave her bed from grief. In an effort to bring some brightness back into the lives of her and her parents, she started filming the odd behaviours of her daughter, whom her sister had grown especially close to in their short time together. Kate wasn't sure if anyone but her would appreciate the clips, but Ava has amassed millions of views in the 4 years since she smelled like beef, and shows no signs of stopping.
Print out your video with LifePrint, then you get the app, and then you see what happens next. It's gonna blow your mind, peeps.
Number 4. Smash, Smash, Some Mash. In 2013, a hitchhiker known as Kai McGilfrey witnessed a man attacking a woman on a California freeway. Later, in an interview with KMPH TV, Kai described how he jumped into action, saving the woman with his hatchet. From here, the phrase "smash, smash, some mash" swept the world. His inspirational, rambling interview even got auto-tuned into a song, which in 2013 was pretty much the Oscars of meme recognition.
People say don't hitchhike. Well, good thing I was hitchhiking. That one was in danger.
But just months into his meteoric rise to internet stardom, Kai became the prime suspect in a similar, albeit less meme-worthy, murder case. Kai was charged with beating a 73-year-old lawyer to death in New Jersey, and as of 2018, is still awaiting a trial for the murder. He claims he acted in self-defense after the man had drugged and sexually assaulted him. But despite his circumstances, Kai remains positive, continuing to post songs and inspirational speeches from his official YouTube channel from prison. Number 3. Doge. The Doge meme has developed a cult-like following, with an expanded vocabulary for different sizes and breeds of meme dog. Typically, the annoyingly cute meme revolves around a dog photo accompanied by a grammatically incorrect Comic Sans caption. The first known use of the word Doge was used to describe a corgi on Reddit in 2010, with the Comic Sans caption added in 2012 by the Tumblr user Sheba Confessions. Then in 2013, the meme was given its poster pup, Kabosu, with the Doge meme. Kabosu's owner posted her photos on a blog in 2010, and she had no idea about the meme until her dog was already famous. But Kabosu was lucky to even make it to 2010. Bored on an illegal puppy mill that closed down, her litter of 19 moved to a shelter. Kabuto was saved from certain death when she was adopted in 2008, shortly before she was meant to be put down. Sadly, this was the fate of the majority of the future doggos. Much sad indeed. 2. Success Kid. From this 2007 image of an 11-month-old making a pretty epic gesture, Sammy Griner was soon known to millions as Success Kid. As one of the more wholesome memes, it's hard to think that he's had anything but a great life. But Sammy has not always had the success of his JPEG counterpart. Born 6 weeks premature, Sammy required brain surgery due to hydrocephalus, a fluid build-up in the brain that has an infant mortality rate of 1 in 20. Luckily, Sammy's surgery was a complete success and he grew up completely healthily. However, 2 years after he went viral, tragedy struck Sammy again, when his father was diagnosed with kidney disease. To join the transplant list, Sammy's dad had to prove he could afford anti-rejection drugs, which, unfortunately, he couldn't. So, when his health declined significantly in 2015, Sammy's mother started a GoFundMe campaign for medical expenses. In true Success Kid fashion, Sammy's fame garnered over $100,000 in donations, and his father received a successful transplant. And as you can guess, Sammy had just the pose for the occasion, despite such a rough start in life. 1. Pepper Spray Cop. This meme, depicting a police officer casually pepper spraying a group of students, or Yoda, or the Beatles, already started out pretty tragically, as you might have guessed. The photo originates from a protest at the University of California, Davis, in response to raised tuition fees. When protesters refused to leave, Lieutenant John Pike took matters into his own hands with a level of aloofness that set the internet ablaze. However, as Pepper Spray Cop maced his way into everyone's hearts, the real story only got worse. 11 protesters required medical treatment, 2 of which were hospitalised. After initially being suspended with pay, Pike was eventually fired. The victims were awarded $1 million compensation, equating to around $30,000 each. But online abuse led Pike to seek workers' compensation for psychological damages, and he himself was awarded $38,000, which, may I remind you, is more than the students got. If you're after the calculation that the judge used to decide that Pike deserved $8,000 more than his victims, he just added insult to injury. Voila! So that was 10 tragic stories behind famous memes. Which upset you the most? Have we missed any? Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, a like and subscription is always appreciated. And if you like this video, why not check out the other great All Time 10s video on screen now.
Feel like going solo? Get Pizza 73's Solo Pizza Deal, starting at $9.99.
That price is so low.
Any size, any pizza, any toppings, and it...
10 most deadly substances known to man. Number 10. VX. This synthetic compound was created as a military chemical weapon after its initial discovery in 1952, and as one of the deadliest nerve agents known to man, it's unsurprisingly extremely dangerous, so much so that it has been declared a weapon of mass destruction. According to the Council on Foreign Relations, just a fraction of a teaspoon, or 10 milligrams, is enough to cause fatal disruption to the nervous system. Appearing as a clear oily substance, VX has been used in the Angolan Civil War and possibly the Halabja attack.